Hello everyone. Did you know that your smartphones have a cleverly hidden app installed when you buy them that has access to virtually every app and every function on your smartphone? With these permissions, it can record everything you do on your smartphone, everything you do in your apps, what you search for on YouTube, what you search for in your browsers, what apps and programs you install, and what settings you configure on your smartphones. And to monitor all this, of course, your RAM is constantly being clogged, your internet connection is constantly running, because all this data is being collected and then sent to unknown servers, supposedly to improve your Android, your smartphone. But ask yourself, if information about how you personally use your smartphone is being collected and sent somewhere else, will they really send you custom settings or improve your smartphone in any way? Of course not. I think enabling these features and apps will only make things worse. Your smartphone will become heavily loaded, sluggish for a while, and drain your battery. Even though you'll never use this app, it's running from morning until night. And for those who didn't know, be sure to double check, find it, and disable it at least to make your smartphone work several times better. Of course, I'll tell you everything now. Be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. So, look, if you use the standard settings, you can go here and find the section responsible for all apps. Here's the app. Click on All Apps. This is where we search for apps. Next, click on the three dots at the top and select Show All Apps or Show System Apps. Here you can scroll through the list manually or enter the word Report. You can, in principle, not all of it. You see, you can search by this emoji. This isn't necessarily called a report. On some models, it's called something else. So, write in the comments, and I'll help you. Look, if you did find it through the standard menu, you've come here, you can't really do anything with it here. Yes, you can access some permissions here. You can clean it and basically everything. There won't be any buttons to stop, delete, or simply disable it, because this is a system app and was implemented here to monitor everything that happens on your phone. Now I'll show you how we'll use a very clever trick to disable it. So, watch the video carefully until the end. We'll do all this without any apps or programs, so anyone can do it. We won't need this menu for now, though. Next, we need to find Google Play, the one you use to download games and apps. Click on Google Play. And here, on the right side, is our avatar or account. Click, scroll to the very bottom, and find a question mark. It's called Help Review. Click on this line. Next, we'll see this menu. It can be different for everyone, so I recommend using the help search. Click here. Now, type the word delete. You can, in principle, again write incompletely and find this line about how to delete an app from an Android device. Of course, we won't delete anything yet. Click on this line. Then, scroll down a little further and find a blue line that says, Go to Application Settings. If you're using a dark theme, you probably won't be able to access it and will get some kind of error. You'll need to temporarily switch to a light theme. So, what do I mean? Let me show you quickly. If you go to the regular standard settings, scroll down here, and find your display settings, you'll see there's a dark theme, like this. If you're using a dark theme, you might not be able to access it. You'll need to temporarily switch to a light one, like this one. Next, return to our settings and click on this text. And look, all the apps available on your smartphone model are loaded again. Next, click the three dots at the bottom and show System Processes. The only downside to this menu is that there's no search. That is, there's no way, for example, to click on Search by Apps, enter a word, and it will immediately find it. No, there's no such thing here. You'll have to scroll manually and search. If you can't find it by name, just search by icon. The icon is generally identical on all smartphones. By the way, let me know in the comments who specifically has an app search in this menu. I'd be very interested to know, because I've accessed it on many smartphones, and there's no search there. I scrolled down to this app, it's called Report. Let's open it. Now, let's take it step by step. First, let's check the battery and performance. Look, I'm currently running it with no restrictions at all. That is, besides collecting information, it's also draining your battery significantly, without you even realizing it. Well, maybe someone else has it optimized. By the way, let me know in the comments whether you had it with no restrictions or with optimization. In any case, you need to limit battery consumption. And generally limit background activity so it doesn't drain your battery and collects very little data. Then we go back. And here, where we have permissions, of course, we check that access to contacts, files, and media content is allowed. That is, access to your entire smartphone's memory, as well as calls and your phone. And if you tap the three dots here and show all permissions, you'll be shocked. It's a practically endless list, meaning access to almost every function on your smartphone, including internet access. So, if possible, of course, disable all these accesses. Now look, there's a very important setting, which is mostly located at the bottom. If you scroll down here, we also have access to screen time, to the display. That means everything you do on your display can be automatically recorded. And again, it can be sent somewhere. Be sure to disable this slider, this button. Then, use the arrow to go back and go to the bottom setting. And it will also be enabled. It controls absolutely all the apps on your smartphone. That is, everything you install, everything you use. And most often, these are browsers, YouTube, and some messengers you use to communicate, and all of this can be recorded. Of course, we go and disable this function. Look, the smartphone even rebooted a little. Now, if we go back and open it again, you see it's already disabled. But look, it seems like nothing happened. If we turn this feature back on, look, I click and see what it tells us. This permission is unsafe. And if we enable it, if it remains enabled, we could suffer damage to our property. And not only that, we could lose our personal data, which we shouldn't share with anyone. And the system warns us about this, saying that we allow this setting at our own risk. Of course, you should never allow such settings, at the very least, to feel safe and to avoid losing any data. In short, in any case, don't agree to this setting. And be sure to disable this slider here. Do you know why all these unnecessary settings and sliders are enabled by default? Because it benefits the developers of your smartphones. That is, they implement various apps and features. It's more profitable for them to have them active right away. And when we launch our smartphone for the first time, we agree to all this privacy. We simply don't read those initial 15 to 20 security confirmation pages. We usually click OK and continue setting up our smartphone. Therefore, it's advisable to at least double-check these unsafe settings afterwards. And look, the only thing left to do is, of course, disable or stop the app. If the completely disable button is still lit, then absolutely disable it. In my case, I simply force stop it. After that, simply restart your smartphone, that is, reboot. You'll be pleasantly surprised that your smartphone will perform better, the battery will drain less, RAM will increase, your internet data will be used less, and overall, your phone will be faster, and all your data will, of course, be safe.